Hey everyone, and welcome to the show. Today we are jumping right into a web hosting showdown. SiteGround versus HostGator.
Absolutely. Two heavy hitters.
They both have their own really dedicated fan bases. But, whether you're just starting out, like thinking about launching your very first website, or, hey, you're a seasoned pro, you've been around the block, you just want something new.
Right.
Figuring out the right web hosting can be tough.
Yeah, it's a minefield out there.
So many options, so much jargon. It's like,
So many promises.
right. So today we're going to break it all down, cut through all that jargon, pros and cons of both. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly which one of these hosting giants is right for you. Okay. So first things first, introductions. Let's meet our contenders.
Okay.
In this corner, hailing all the way from Bulgaria, founded in 2004, SiteGround. They've really built a reputation for high performance, especially for anyone out there using WordPress.
If you're on WordPress, SiteGround's a name you know.
Yeah, and one thing that really stands out about them, they use Google Cloud infrastructure.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Right. What does that even mean for like the average user out there?
Well, it means a couple things.
Okay.
That connection to Google Cloud, it gives SiteGround users an edge in terms of scalability and reliability.
Scalability and reliability. So like my website can grow.
Yes, exactly.
It can handle more traffic.
More traffic without crashing.
Okay.
If you're running an online business, like you said,
Yeah.
every second of downtime is losing customers, losing revenue.
Lost money.
So that reliability is gold.
Okay, so SiteGround, they're reliable,
Yes.
high performance,
Uh-huh.
and they're built for growth.
They are built to scale.
All right, so that's one contender. And the other corner, born in the heart of Texas back in 2002, HostGator. Now, they're really known for affordability. And they've got a wider range of hosting plans. So they try to fit a bunch of different needs.
A lot of different needs.
They are a part now of the Endurance International group, and they own like a ton of different hosting companies.
A whole bunch.
So that EIG connection, some people out there might be thinking, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing?
It's definitely something to consider.
Yeah.
EIG has a bit of a mixed reputation in the hosting world. Some users have raised concerns that maybe their focus on keeping things cheap could impact the quality of the service.
Interesting.
So it's something we'll dig into a bit more.
Yeah, I think it's worth exploring as we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got SiteGround, premium performance focused. We've got HostGator, budget friendly, more options.
More options, yeah.
But as they say,
What do they say?
the devil is in the details. And when it comes to web hosting, one of the biggest details that everyone cares about is money. Yeah, the price. How much is this going to cost me?
Right.
So let's start there.
Okay.
Shared hosting. So if we're just looking at basic shared hosting, HostGator comes out swinging with lower prices.
Significantly lower.
We're talking up to 70% less
Wow, 70%.
than SiteGround.
That's a big difference.
Right.
Huge.
But here's the thing. Those are introductory rates.
Right, the honeymoon phase.
The honeymoon phase. Yeah, so SiteGround, their renewal prices are more consistent
Okay.
over time. But HostGators tend to jump up quite a bit after that initial period.
So you're lured in with that low price,
Right.
and then bam.
Right. So maybe not such a bargain after all.
You got to read that fine print.
Okay. So it's not as simple as just looking at that initial price tag.
Nope.
Okay, what about WordPress hosting?
Okay.
Specifically, it seems like everybody and their grandma has a WordPress website these days. Both SiteGround and HostGator, do they offer managed WordPress hosting?
They do. And HostGator, again, wins on price.
Okay.
At least initially.
At least initially. Okay.
But SiteGround has a really unique offering
Okay.
that HostGator doesn't have, and that's managed WooCommerce hosting.
Okay.
So if you're thinking about building an online store, that's a big point in SiteGround's favor.
Okay. So HostGator for like basic WordPress needs.
Yeah.
But SiteGround if you really want to build like a full-blown e-commerce store.
If you're going to be selling things, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, what happens when your needs get a little bit more complex? Yeah, so things like cloud hosting, VPS, dedicated servers.
Right, the big leagues.
This is where things get really interesting because you start to see a difference in their approach, right? So SiteGround with that Google Cloud partnership,
Yeah.
they really shine in the cloud hosting arena.
Makes up.
Top-notch scalability, reliability, the whole package.
Yeah, they got it.
HostGator does offer VPS and dedicated servers,
Okay.
but their cloud hosting is more like a souped up.
Like enhanced shared hosting?
Yeah, it's not true cloud hosting. What else sets them apart?
SiteGround, they offer more advanced features for developers.
Okay.
but HostGator boasts a larger storage capacity on those VPS and dedicated plans.
So it's almost like choosing between a sleek sports car and like a really powerful work truck.
I like that.
It depends what you're hauling.
It does. What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
What are your priorities?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so we've talked about the tech specs.
Yeah.
But let's be real. Most of us aren't developers.
Right.
You know?
I just want something that works.
Yeah, we just want our website to be easy to manage. Thankfully, both platforms get high marks for user-friendliness. But SiteGround has really taken it a step further.
Okay, how so?
Their custom dashboard.
Okay.
Incredibly intuitive.
Yeah.
Streamlined tons of one-click installation options.
So even if you're not tech savvy...
Even if you're intimidated by technology, you could probably figure it out. All right, that's a big win for anyone who's not a coder.
For sure.
But what about speed? In today's world, nobody wants to wait around for a website to load.
No, nobody's got time for that.
So who's faster?
This is where SiteGround really blows HostGator out of the water.
Really?
Speed tests consistently. SiteGround loads websites seconds faster.
Seconds faster. That's huge.
Which makes a huge difference. Think about it.
Yeah.
If you're a customer waiting for a website to load with SiteGround, you're already browsing. You're doing your thing.
They happy.
With HostGator, you're staring at a blank screen.
Still waiting.
Still waiting. Whew.
Yeah, so big difference.
Big difference.
SiteGround wins on speed. But what about uptime?
Ooh, uptime.
Right, if your website's down, you're losing money, you're losing customers. It's not a good thing. So how do they stack up there?
Okay, well, SiteGround, they consistently deliver on their 99.98% uptime guarantee.
Wow, that's really good.
It's stellar. HostGator has a slightly lower guarantee,
Okay.
99.9%, and they don't always hit it.
Interesting.
Which, it might not seem like a big difference, but
Yeah.
think about it this way. You wouldn't want your brick and mortar shop to be randomly closed for hours at a time.
No.
Your website is your online storefront.
That's a good way to put it.
SiteGround does a better job at keeping your site open for business.
Okay, so SiteGround takes the lead again.
Okay.
But let's be real. Things don't always go smoothly.
No, they don't.
What happens when you run into a problem? You need help.
You need support.
Yeah, let's talk customer support.
All right, customer service.
This is where we see another key difference between the two.
Okay, tell me more.
SiteGround consistently gets rave reviews for their customer support.
Yeah.
They're responsive, helpful, efficient, and available 24/7. Live chat, phone support tickets.
Wow.
Doesn't matter what time zone you're in, what kind of issue you're facing, they've got you covered.
That's what you want to hear.
HostGator, unfortunately, doesn't have that same stellar reputation. Their Trustpilot rating, pretty mediocre.
Ouch.
And a lot of users complained about slow response times,
Okay.
unhelpful agents.
So not ideal.
Not what you want to hear when you're panicking about your website.
Definitely not.
So if you think you might need a little bit of a helping hand, SiteGround seems like a much safer bet.
Okay.
Now, before we wrap up this part of the comparison, couple more key considerations. Server location and security. What do our contenders offer in these areas?
Let's see.
When it comes to server locations, SiteGround offers 6 data centers spread across the globe. Gives you more flexibility to choose a location that's closest to your target audience.
Makes sense.
HostGator, however, only has 2 located in the U.S.
Okay.
So if you have a global audience, SiteGround offers a clear advantage.
So go global with SiteGround.
Yeah.
Got it.
What about security?
Security.
I think we can all agree that keeping your website safe from hackers, malware, all that bad stuff.
Essential.
So how do they do?
Well, SiteGround really excels in this area. They offer a comprehensive suite of security features totally free of charge.
Oh, wow.
Things like a web application firewall
Okay.
to protect your site from attacks, daily backups.
Ooh, good backups are important.
So you never lose your data, and proactive monitoring to catch any potential issues before they become big problems.
So they're on top of it.
They're on it.
HostGator, on the other hand, makes you pay extra for a lot of these features.
Oh, so you're nickel and diming me.
Yeah. All right. So you are getting a more robust security package
For free.
with SiteGround.
We've really dug into the nuts and bolts of SiteGround and HostGator.
Yeah, we've gotten pretty technical. But choosing a web host isn't just about checking off features on a list.
Right, it's got to be the right fit.
Yeah, it's about finding a company that really aligns with your values, with your goals.
A company you can trust.
Yeah, it's like choosing a business partner. Got to make sure you're on the same page.
You're in it together.
Right. So let's talk about the philosophies behind these companies.
Okay.
Who are they building these platforms for? Who's their ideal customer?
All right, good question.
So let's start with SiteGround. Who are they targeting?
They seem to be targeting users who are serious about their online presence.
Okay.
People who are willing to invest a little bit more for quality.
So not necessarily the bargain hunters?
Not the cheapest option out there.
Okay, so who are we talking about?
Think web developers, growing businesses. Anyone with a website that's mission critical to their success.
Okay, so their livelihood depends on their website.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
For those people, speed, security, reliability, those aren't just nice to haves.
Yes.
Those are necessities.
Okay.
I gotta have it.
So SiteGround, maybe not the cheapest, but you get what you pay for. Anything else about SiteGround's audience?
Well, they've also really positioned themselves as WordPress experts
Okay.
with features and tools specifically designed to make WordPress sites run smoothly.
So if you're a WordPress user,
Yeah, WordPress is your jam.
SiteGround is worth checking out.
It's absolutely.
Okay, so SiteGround for those performance-obsessed WordPress lovers. What about HostGator? Who are they trying to attract?
It seems like their sweet spot is beginners and budget-conscious users.
Uh-huh.
You know those low introductory prices, that user-friendly interface?
Super appealing.
Especially if you're just starting out, maybe you're a little bit intimidated by all the tech stuff.
So HostGator for the newbies
For newbies, yeah.
who just want something simple, affordable to get their feet wet.
Exactly, dip your toes in.
But does HostGator only cater to beginners?
Don't be fooled by that beginner-friendly label.
Yep.
They do offer a wide range of plans, including VPS and dedicated servers.
It's all about choosing the right tool for the job.
The right tool for the job, absolutely.
All right, now we've talked price, performance, features, target audiences.
We've covered a lot.
What other factors should we consider when comparing these two?
Something that often gets overlooked is company culture.
Ooh, company culture.
Yeah.
What are their values?
How do they treat their customer?
Yeah, I like that.
It can really give you a sense of whether they're genuinely invested in your success.
Yeah, are they just trying to make a quick buck?
Exactly.
So how can we figure that out?
One way to get a feel for a company's culture is to read user reviews.
Okay, yeah, reviews. See what other people are saying.
So what are people saying about SiteGround?
Well, SiteGround consistently gets praise for their responsive and helpful support team.
Okay.
Their transparent pricing and their commitment to constantly innovating and improving their platform.
So they're always trying to get better.
They're not resting on their laurels.
Okay, what about HostGator? HostGator's reputation is a little bit more mixed.
Okay.
Some users are happy with the service,
Okay.
while others complain about things like slow support, hidden fees, lack of transparency.
So not as consistent.
Not quite as glowing.
And some of that criticism, maybe it stems from the fact that they're owned by EIG.
Right, which, as we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
they have a reputation for prioritizing profits over customer satisfaction.
It's a good reminder to do your research. Read those reviews
Yeah.
from real users before you commit.
Don't just trust the marketing.
Yeah.
See what real people are saying.
Now, is there anything else you should consider?
There is one more important point I want to raise. Something that's becoming increasingly important to a lot of website owners. Sustainability. Yeah, more and more people are trying to make eco-conscious choices.
In all aspects of their lives.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And that includes web hosting.
Oh, that's a good point. We haven't even talked about that.
Right, because all those data centers that power our websites, they use a lot of energy. It's a big carbon footprint.
Okay, so how do our contenders stack up in terms of their environmental impact?
Okay, well, SiteGround has made a very strong commitment to environmental responsibility.
Okay.
Their data centers are powered by 100% renewable energy sources.
Oh, that's impressive.
And they have a number of initiatives in place to reduce their carbon footprint.
So they're walking the walk.
They're not just talking about it.
What about HostGator?
HostGator, unfortunately, doesn't seem to have that same level of commitment. They haven't publicly stated any goals for reducing their impact or transitioning to renewable energy.
So if you're someone who really cares about the environment, SiteGround definitely has the edge.
SiteGround's doing it right.
It's inspiring to see a company taking those steps.
Yeah, it's great.
You know, for a lot of people, choosing a green web host isn't just about feeling good. It's about taking action to reduce their impact on the planet.
Making a difference.
And the great thing is with SiteGround, you don't have to sacrifice performance or quality.
You get it all.
All right, so we've explored a lot of different angles here. We've analyzed all the features,
Weighed the pros and cons.
dug into company culture, even their commitment to sustainability. Now it's decision time.
The moment of truth.
So let's do a quick recap.
Okay.
SiteGround, top-notch performance. Excellent security features.
Yes.
Stellar customer support.
Love that.
And they're committed to those eco-friendly practices.
Doing good for the planet.
Right, but they're not the cheapest option out there.
Right. You do pay a premium.
But as we've seen, you really do get what you pay for.
Absolutely. You get that quality.
So SiteGround, fantastic choice for businesses, developers, anyone who understands that their website is crucial to their success.
Right. Their website is their livelihood.
And they need it to be fast, secure, and always available.
It can't go down.
And especially if you're a WordPress user. They've gone above and beyond for WordPress.
They have.
Okay, now on the other side of the ring, we have HostGator,
All right. HostGator.
the budget-friendly option. Those introductory prices are tempting. And they do have a wide range of plans to fit different needs.
So you got options.
But we did uncover some concerns about HostGator when it comes to uptime customer support.
And sometimes that performance.
And that connection to EIG does raise some questions.
Yeah, about their priorities.
But there's always two sides to every story.
That's true.
We also talked about how some people have noticed a dip in SiteGround's service quality.
As they've grown.
Yeah, they've grown so rapidly.
It happens sometimes.
So it's just something to keep in mind. So after all this back and forth, which host should you choose?
Which one's right for you?
What's the final verdict?
All right, drum roll, please.
Okay, so if you are serious about your website, if it's a key part of your business or your brand, and you absolutely need it to be fast, secure, and consistently reliable, SiteGround is the way to go.
Invest in your success.
Now, if you are on a tight budget, you're just starting out, HostGator might be a good starting point.
Yeah, dip your toes in the water.
Get your feet wet, but just be prepared.
You might need to switch later.
Yeah, you might need to migrate to a more robust host as your website grows, as your needs evolve. So stay flexible. Ultimately, the best web host for you depends on your individual needs.
Your priorities, your budget.
But the good news is you don't have to make this decision blindly. We've included links to both SiteGround and HostGator in the episode description.
Check them out.
Click on those links.
Compare the plans.
Read reviews from other users and make the best decision for your specific situation.
Find the perfect fit.
And choose the hosting platform that will really empower your online journey.
Set yourself up for success.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of web hosting.
It's been fun.
We hope you found it informative, engaging, and most importantly, helpful.
Yeah, hopefully we made things a little bit clearer.
And until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep those websites blazing fast.
See you next time.